Okay, great. So yeah, so we've got this question over here. The main role of religion is to create social solidarity. Evaluate this view. Okay, just opening another Google Doc, or we can actually continue on the same one, just with a different heading. We have same one. Uh, Also, do me a favor, and how about you? Can you tell me your email? Can you dictate it out for me? So, you can also be the editor in this if you want to add something later on. You're going to have it on email then.
Sorry, miss, could you repeat that?
Yeah, totally. I said, could you do me a favor and also just dictate your email to me? What that's going to help you edit as well. So you
Oh,
won't
yeah,
only read.
sure. Do I write? Can I write it in the chat box?
Definitely, that would be great. Okay, so
I have sent it.
how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Rosairo.
Fancy. That's great. Okay, so you probably will have access to this via email now. So yeah, it's going to be easier for you to view it with all the changes. I won't have to send it again and again. And also you can make any changes that you yourself want to, or you can add any questions to this, and while you're studying it or whatever. So we've got this question over here right now. The main role of religion is,
Miss,
yeah.
sorry, but you sent it to me in a PDF form, right? So I don't think I'd be able to edit it.
I sent you it in a PDF form on WhatsApp, and then I emailed this to you right now. So this
Okay,
won't
okay.
be in the PDF form. It's going to be in a link form. Just open that link and it'll lead you to this document.
All right, miss, got it. Thank you.
No worries at all. So, okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing this. I gotta go to the Google Doc. Okay, perfect. So this is our question over here. Okay, so one thing we need to know, because it's a 35 marker, so they are giving you 35 marks for a question. That's like a lot of marks. Okay, so it gets a little confusing as to where to start, where to end, because you somehow sort of need to write every single thing. Okay, so there is no ands and buts about that. We already know that yes, I have to give out every point of view. I have to give out every argument. I need to give out every um thing that I've got on this specific topic within my chapter. Okay, so the first thing, but there's still a format that you follow just to make it easier for yourself. Okay, so the first thing you do is you go ahead and you highlight the main concepts. Okay, so let's see. I'm reading the question. The main role of religion is to create social solidarity. Now, if let's say I'm an examiner, and let's say I'm someone who knows nothing about sociology. Okay, so for me, I don't know what the main role of religion is. Like, what do they mean by main role of religion? For me, I don't even know if religion has roles. So that is one thing. I'm confused. Okay, so for me, main role of religion is a novel topic. It's like something that I have never discovered. Okay, and I don't know what social solidarity means. Okay, let's just say I have no outlook at all. I know nothing about um I know nothing about my syllabus, or I know nothing about this specific syllabus. So I don't know what the main role of religion is, and I don't know what social solidarity is. So I have highlighted the main concepts. Then I highlight the keyword, aka what I have have to do. Okay, so that's evaluate over here. So I have to evaluate it. Okay, I don't have to explain it. I don't have to describe it. I have to evaluate this. That's two things that are out of my way now. Okay, so that's my first thing that I've just, what I have just, reconsidered the whole question. I have reconstructed the whole question. Okay, then I go ahead and then I actually explain. whatever I have highlighted. So that would mean that I would, give me a sec. Yeah, okay. So explain whatever I have highlighted. I will go ahead with the description of what the role of religion is, or maybe point of view. Okay. Then I will go and I will description of social solidarity. This way, I am making clear A, what I'll be talking about, B, giving out information that this is what you're supposed to focus on when I talk about all of this. Okay, so then that's my general introduction sort of a thing. Okay, then I go ahead. So because it says, just a second. Mm. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I have done this. So I have highlighted the main concepts and I have highlighted the keyword, which is what I have to do, which is evaluate this. Then I have also explained what I have highlighted. Okay, I have explained the main role of religions and I have explained that, I just need to highlight this nicely because the green was annoying me a lot. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, so I have also, now I will do another thing. I will disclose the relationship between role of religion and social solidarity. So when you are talking about psychology, sociology, this description of whenever you talk about relationship to be the keyword here, there will always come the three musketeers. Okay, so there's the Marxist, then there's the functionist. Now this Marxist could be neo-Marxist, okay, whatever POV just supports better. Then there's the functionist, and then there's the feminist. You could, again, you could have the categories. Yeah. So you could have your radical, you could have your liberal. Okay, you can mention any of those categories as well. Because whenever you explain the relationship between something, when you are disclosing the relationship between what the role of religion is and how, whether or not it is the main role, its main role is to create social solidarity. So for us, there might be 7 roles that religion has right now. Okay, and one of them might be to create social solidarity, but but then how my perspectives will differ is what each of these groups believe. So as I have said, the description of role of religion, which is basically my point of view, so that could be the religion carries a lot of roles starting from this. Okay, I am giving a small description providing what the role of religion is. Okay, then I move ahead and I go on to social solidarity, and I talk about social solidarity as a role of religion. So I can say one of the role of religion is social solidarity, which means having this in society, having consensus in society, having unified opinions in society. Okay, then I go ahead and I disclose this relationship between role of religion and social solidarity, which basically means, just to provide extra information, is whether or not main the main goal is social solidarity. Okay, so that is what I mean by explaining and disclosing this relationship between main role and social solidarity, whether it is the main role or not. So for that, we will always, or most of the times, we are going to have the 3 point of views. So for functionalist, yes, the main role of society would be social solidarity, because they believe in consensus and they believe in the fact that everything is amazing in society. Okay, that is how we remember what basically this is, um what their point of view is, that they believe that everything in society is amazing. There is nothing complicated about the society. People just make it complicated by adding all of this spice. Basically, that's their point of view. So yes, they would say that yes, you are absolutely right. The main role of religion is social solidarity. It is to create a value system. It is to create consensus. It is to create identities in a consensual way. Okay, so yeah, for them, this point of view would be a huge yes. So let's just take a red and write a huge yes here. Okay, then we go ahead and we look at what would neo-Marxists say or Marxists say. So Marxist would say that not really. So when we talk about religion, so they would say that they have made this false sense of social solidarity, that religion's main aim is not social solidarity. Because if you look at society, there is nothing unified about the society. There is the capitalist, and then there is us, the proletariats. Okay, so there is no unity. So how can you even say that the main role of religion is social solidarity when there is absolutely nothing solid, you know um socially solidar over here? There is nothing that is unified over here, because there is this two huge groups that you have divided the society in, and then you are talking about social solidarity. So they will to go ahead and they will bash this point of view. They will be completely against this point of view, that no, the main role is not social solidarity. How dare you? Because if religion's main role was social solidarity, there would be no ideology between capitalists and proletariats. Okay, there would be no ideology that lies with the owners of factors of production. That's wrong. Religion is religion is not focusing on this. That is, religion will make people passive about this. This requires radical change. Religion is not causing that. Okay, so that would be their point of view. Okay, so that's the second one that we've got here. Okay, then we go ahead and then we look at feminists. Okay, let's see if they have a point of view. So in most arguments, it's they have been left behind. It's mostly in the educational or in the globalization arguments that mostly in the media or education arguments that we even see feminism over there. But over here as well, we can go ahead and we can talk about radical feminists, and we can say that even they will say no. Because okay, these two groups, they're the conflict groups. When we talk about Marxists and feminists, they're the conflict groups, because they believe in conflict rather than consensus. But they're not wrong to do so. Nobody's saying that they're wrong to do so. But there's always just those differentiated point of views. So their answer will always be no, until and unless the question is about them. Okay, so always just know that. So this, again, you will go ahead and will explain each and every point of view that no, Marxists might believe otherwise. Functionalists might, yes, my functionalists would be like, yes, it is. Feminists would say no, social solidarity is not the main role of religion. The main role of religion, if it was that, then there would be no inequality between these two genders. Religion focuses more on the male power. Religion focuses more, every single religion, they would go ahead and give examples. Okay, that this religion is focusing on this thing. So even Islam, if you want to talk about that, then Islam is focusing on four marriages allowed for the male. So they would go ahead and say, they would say that no, social solidarity is not the main aim of religion. Religion to actually focuses on giving the male power. That's what they would say. Okay, and they would give example of that. Okay, then we go ahead and then we talk about, these are the main things that because it is sociology, these are the main things to always start from. Okay, but then talking about everything else also matters. These sort of questions, again, because it is 35 markers, these sort of questions basically involve everything. Okay, now this is just the general idea, this what I've highlighted. What needs to be done is that this needs to be divided. How? Now I'm going to be talking about the format. So once we have our introduction, which is basically point 3, okay, so point 3, all of this, so highlighted in blue. Okay, so all of this is your introduction sort of a thing. Okay, so this is, I'm highlighting it in blue. Okay, so this you have, this is the number one thing that you have. Okay, then you will divide it for against, because it is evaluation. when you divide it for and against, or advantage, disadvantage, or agreement, disagreement. There you go. This one's like the most applicable over here. Okay, so all of them mean the same thing, but we're just differentiating for our own help. Okay, moving forward with this. So for 4, you would get your function list over here. So always just keep in mind the first 3, for just for these are your basic arguments that you will always have arguments about this. So just this is why I started with these, because these are your basic arguments that you would always. Okay, that's you. I'm just like, okay, what is this? Okay. So yeah, okay. So these are the basic arguments. So you just divide it with for and against. So for against, you would write Marxism and feminism. Okay, then you will give more 4 arguments. So the 4 arguments would be any argument that does say that religion does emphasize, or religion does support, or the main role of religion is social solidarity. So here would come your cultural examples. So you would give the example of, let's say, Christians. Okay, that's a religion. And how will you give that example? This, let me just example so you can. Christians. So you will say they have a unified prayer area. Okay, you will give examples of let's say Hinduism. Also, they have unified prayer rituals. So everybody,
Miss,
yeah,
I also have a lot of examples for the Calvinist belief.
totally yes. You're on the document. Go ahead, write. Okay, I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, go ahead, type it. I'm here too. I'm not doing anything. Okay.
That's what I have.
Perfect. So whatever you've explained to me, I got it. Okay. I totally understand it. Okay. What we're gonna do is now this shows that your content is strong, which is amazing. Okay. So okay. Are you gonna write?
I
I
mean, for now, not no. I do have like a mind map with me of what I have researched. Like as for Marxism, religion and change, I have religion and hegemony. I have liberation theology and the principle of hope.
Okay, so let's just do that one by one. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so let's say right now you've got this. You've explained this to me. That's giving me solid content. Now, what I know as an examiner is this girl knows it. Okay, however, you need to connect it to the question. Okay, how is any of this at all showing me whether or not main role is social solidarity or not? So, let's say if I'm talking about um, any of these pointers, even if it's just the first one or the last one. Okay, so if I'm talking about predestination, so where they believe God decides who will be elected to lead and this fate cannot be changed. So is this falling under for or against? Is this for or against? You gotta decide that. Okay, and then you place it there. Okay, so you can't just give a jot of information without placing it whether according to the question. So let's say you're talking about calling over here, right? So let's say combined with the idea of very difficult word to pronounce, I'm not gonna do it. So Calvinists define themselves as hardworking but wealth uh hardworking. Okay, this is an error over here, but wealth they gain is put back into the businesses rather than taken for personal gain, as they believe wealth was a sign of being elect. Okay, so again, for again, what are you've given me this, but what are you trying to tell me? I am to
I
asking
think
you.
I think
Okay.
specifically calling is against because the question asks says that it's creating social solidarity. Actually, wait. Mm, this one doesn't really unify the religion. It more creates a hierarchy where there's one person on top reciting everything for everyone else to follow.
Yeah, so even if you look at it as a hierarchy, and there is this one person who is telling everybody else to do this same thing, if they are doing the same thing, then yes, it is social solidarity because they are unified in doing whatever they're practicing. Okay, so you could place it as a point like this. Okay, so again, you have given me all of this, but you haven't told me why are you giving me all of this. So if you are talking about the Calvinist belief and you're talking about the four different categories, so you need to see, you need to divide them. So let's say two of them are for social solidarity. They talk about how social solidarity is the main aim of religion. However, two of them are not related to social solidarity. Two of them do not tell me how social solidarity is the main aim of religion. Okay, let's say they're divided into two and two. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to say that the Calvinist belief, which is divided into four subcategories, shows that there are two categories which do support the idea that social solidarity lies as the main role of religion. However, the other two subcategories are against it. Then you go ahead and you talk about the first category. So let's say when we are talking about predestination, where they believe God decides who will be elected to lead and this fate cannot be changed. So this, we can say that this is for social solidarity. Okay, we can say that they are you know unified in their belief that this would be the thing. Okay, they are unified that there would be this one person who will lead and this fate cannot be changed. Okay, so yes, that would cause social solidarity. When we talk about social solidarity as the most literal definition, they will that basically means that it it's like the interdependence between individuals in a society, so how they are dependent on each other. Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so in this scenario we could say that yes, they are dependent on one another, and that is very well explained by Durkheim as well. So he also said that they assemble their beliefs and every member of the society has you know these beliefs for the lifetime. Okay, so that is also something, you need to say, okay, yes, is this for or not. When you talk about the second point, so no one can claim the known will of God, along with Calvinists being defined as feeling loneliness and predestination using salvation panic. So again, these people are saying that there is no definitive answer, there is no definitive solution, there is no definitive source of power, source to follow. So they are against it. We can say it very clearly. Okay, we can say that they feel like the main role of religion is not to define who is going to lead us. It is not to define social solidarity. It is not to define the interdependence of individuals. It is rather to define that, normal behavior. It is, it doesn't, it actually focuses more on the fact that this is not pre-decided. Okay, so you are wrong to feel so, you are wrong to say that main role of religion is social solidarity, when the main role of religion is not even known yet, or the main, um, I wouldn't say main role of religion is not even known yet, but we could say that the existence or the rule of power is still undecided or is still varying. You cannot say that. So these would be against. So are you understanding what I'm trying to say here? That you need to go back to the question and relate to the question, and you need to divide it accordingly. You need to divide it with for and against. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, miss.
Perfect. So let's say you have got this pointer. I am going to again change this over here, because not right now, but I would want you to develop this further whenever you have the time, with dividing them into for, against, and then placing them. Now, this is a good practice that we're doing right here. You go ahead and you start, give me another point that you've thought of, whether it's for, whether it's against, but maybe this time you give it to me in the sense where you tell me whether it's for or against. Okay, so I don't have to find out. Okay, so maybe
Okay.
whatever the mind map you have, you put it out here. Okay, I've got you. I'm gonna be here only.
Okay. Miss, do I start writing now?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, right? It's okay. Not this point, not this point, just another point that you were having. You said that you've got a mind map as to how you want to answer it. So go ahead and write another point and maybe explain to me whether it's for or against. Where are you going to place it?
Okay. Miss, I am done.
Yeah, okay, I'm here. Okay, so I read the first 2 pointers, just reading the last one. Mm, Perfect. So I just have one question now. It's just a very tricky thing. Okay, now this is probably something that makes sociology difficult. This is perfectly fine. Okay, I understand this point. Great. Okay, so let's just write 10 on 10 here. So later when you're reviewing it, you know it. Okay. Let's say we're talking about liberation theology, and you have said that it defends democracy and is committed to the opposition of the dictator by applying religious faith to aid those in poverty and facing abuse of human rights. Okay. However, let's say it is defending democracy. Okay. And religion is basically okay. This point of view is wrong. First, this is not what it is actually. Okay, it is actually that they are, when you talk about liberation theology, so obviously it has branches, but then it's mostly that they are opposing the fact that you have to side with those who are socially deprived in order to bring social change. That is what there's.
Oh,
Yeah, there's opposition there. Okay, so they do not say that you need to do it. They say that that is not what social change is. Okay, so even if you, let's say you have written this, okay, and let's say the examiner does take it as the right response. Okay, because content sometimes they do take it as a right response sometimes, because there's a lot of content, right? So let's just say it happens, but still, let's say I take this whole point as it is, but then if something is defending democracy, that means it is defending free will. And when something is defending free will, that means everybody can do whatever they want to. And when everybody can do whatever they want to, that means there will be no social solidarity. Did you see the link there?
yeah.
So you might have to, if you are taking this point as it is, that then you might have to provide a very tricky explanation as well. So you need to replace this or reiterate your focal point in this. Okay, so just this would require a little bit of changing. The last one is also perfectly fine. Okay, now let me just a second. Great. So I have divided this into 3 different pointers. Okay, now these are, let's say we've got our for against pointers. Now your mind map is perfectly fine. You are placing it right too. I told you how to place it. You are now placing it right too. Okay, one thing that needs to be done here, all of these are, let's say, um, complex pointers. Let's come to a little compound ones. So I will phrase these are complex. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, compound, or let me name it simple. So I come to more simplistic arguments. Okay, so more simplistic cultural arguments, that in some cultures it is believed that you need to um, remove any and every division in society based on religion, such as removing poverty, in the sense that you treat everybody as an equal under the religious guidelines. There you go. So these are more simple pointers that under religion it has been said that yes, you need to talk about also what you are writing. This is good evaluative responsive. So these are the good responses. When someone sees this, these will get you that there is no doubt that these will get you the most marks. Okay, so this is perfectly fine. Just to make it more, let's say, open. Okay, just to make it more open and make it more simplistic, you just add more religions. You also talk about, let's say, marginalization over here, that some religions do not believe in the marginalization of certain groups of society, leading to a more unified and to a more holistically unified society practicing the same beliefs. There you go. We've got another one over here. So, you just then you start giving, just to make your answer open to everything, okay? And not make it a little abstract as well. Sorry, concrete as well. So this all shows that okay, it's too academic. What is your understanding? This shows that this is your understanding. This shows that you know the book. All of this shows that you know the book. Okay, this will tell them that okay, you are a great student. Okay, this will tell them that you actually have interest and that you understand the point of view. This will show them your point of view without you stating that it is my point of view. Okay, then you can also talk about some natural ceremonies where you know it is required for you by the religion, required by religion to attend as a group. So um there's a lot of award giving ceremonies when you talk about Lejizan app, and I'll continue. Okay, I've got you. Um, okay, so I don't really remember what I was saying, but yeah, that those are more like 4 points we can give. Against point, you could talk about postmodernist view. That's also an against point. Another thing, always just remember, I'm gonna write this in, let's say, um, purple cap caps lock, and sociological referencing for every single sociologist that you can think of that will fall under um, religion. So you could talk about who's that sociologist? I keep forgetting. I got you. I hope I spell it right. You all of this is going to whatever you pointers you've given me. These will count as sociological reference, but it never hurts to give out your name as well. Okay, so even when you're talking about liberation theology, that will count as sociological reference totally well. But just, whenever, if you have a name, give the name. If you have a name of the Marx, you probably there is a name for the Marxist. I can't think of which, but always a name for a Marxist, beyond Karl Marx, of course, and beyond, who's the other one? Who's the other neo-Marxist? I am so bad at this. I am horrible at this. There you go, Max Weber. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you give that. Okay. So that's totally great. You give referencing. Now I'll just tell you how it is actually divided. Okay. So this part, which we are calling the introduction, and we have highlighted it in blue, we can try to get at least 6 to 8 markers out of this. Okay, we can give a point, explain that point, give an example, try to get 6 to 8 markers just in explaining the relationship. Then we give our pointers. Okay, in those pointers, we always just take it as 4 for each pointer. We imagine that, okay, we're getting 4 for each pointer. So let's say my introduction is getting me a 4 to 6 marks. Let's say it's giving me 6 marks. I give 3 4 pointers, so that's 12, 4 8 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. I give another one, that's another 4, 22. Okay, let's say I also give 4 pointers for against. So with sociological reference, with placing it right, with all the explanation, that is going to get me 4 marks. So that's 22, 26, 26, and it's going beyond 35. So you keep it with your introduction, which will get you 4 to 6 marks. Okay, just for defining it, just for explaining it. Then you start evaluating, which is basically agreement, disagreement. Give 3 pointer each, but well developed, with sociological reference, with examples, all a very well connected long point that you have to give. Like right here, if this is a point, this is a point, then all of this will require, as I said, this will require placing, then this will require more explanation in within placing, that why are you placing it there, and then it will require a sociological this in itself is a sociological reference, but so not really. But this would be one, just let's say if you've taken just this 4 point. Okay, you've explained this part, and then you further explain why it is for, and then you further explain its connection to the to the question, and that's your 1 point. So let's say we keep it 3 3 3 3 as and keep a aim of attaining 4 marks with 1 point. Okay, so that means that you are getting 3 3 3, that's 9, and then 3 3 3, that's another 9, that's 18. Okay, and then you are moving ahead, and you're getting your 4 marker with your introduction. Okay, so that's 18 plus 4 is 22. You're having a lack there, so you go ahead and give another pointer. Okay, so I'm counting it wrong. I'm saying 3 3 3. Why I'm like, why is there a lag? This 4 4 4 4. So sorry, 4 4 4. So that's 12, and then 12, that's 24. Then you're getting marks for your introduction. That's 30. Oh, sorry, 28. Let's say that then you're getting 2 marks for your conclusion. That's your 30 on 34. Okay, 30 to 34 is great. Okay, let's say you still want to aim for the highest possible. Okay, so you go ahead and you give 1 point, but you give it in support of something that you actually believe in. So let's say if you actually think that yes, the main reason is social solidarity, you give 1 extra point for 4. If you actually think is that the main reason is not social solidarity, you give extra point for against. So you place it like that, and then you get your answers. So the main point is, the main idea that it revolves around is that when you are giving your for and against point, they have to be so well developed that your examiner is like, I will definitely give this person a 4 on this point. That is how and how will you well develop that 4 point? So you will just go ahead and you will say, if I am presenting a point, so that's going to be my point. I will explain that point. I will apply that point, or I will give evidence for that point, and I will give referencing for that point, and I will place it right. And then I will give justification for placing it in under each of the headings that I am choosing. Do you get this now? Do you understand what happened here?
Yeah.
Amazing. So for now, what you should do is just this pointer, you've got it very well developed here. Okay, you just place it right. Okay, and you create pointers for yourself. Let me just see where the marking scheme is. What paper was this? This is 2021 of February, March. Okay. Focus of this question is the relationship between religion and social solidarity. Did we cover that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Great. Good answers are likely to develop the contrast between sociological theories that view religion as a conservative force that promotes social cohesion, solidarity, and theories that recognize some role of religion in challenging the status quo and bringing about social change. Functionist and Marxist theories would agree in seeing religion as a conservative force, though the two perspectives differs in how they explain the role of religion in supporting the status quo. Have we discussed this?
Yeah.
Great. For functionalists, religion encourages social solidarity through involvement in collective worship and acceptance of shared values. By contrast, Marxists view religion as an ideological force that contributes to the false consciousness and the manipulation of people into accepting a social order that supports the interest of the privileged few. So this is explaining the theories. Evaluate the idea that religion creates social solidarity might draw on examples of where religion appears to have had the opposite effects, such as religious wars, schisms, um, within particular religions, and the use of religion to defend a privileged interest against marginalized and otherwise disadvantaged groups. So this is telling you the against part of it, which we, yes, have discussed. The analysis might also be developed by considering examples of where religion has challenged the status quo and opposed the dominant value system in society. Examples include the Iranian Revolution and liberal theology. Indeed, it can be argued that the role of religion in bringing about social change has been just as important as its role in creating social solidarity. Good evaluative responses might also consider what social solidarity means and how it differs from related concepts such as social order, social control, and ideological domination hegemony. One thing that I have forgotten to mention over here, and that is very, 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 very important, the whole point lies over there, is whenever you, let me just, whenever you are speaking against, mainly against, okay, so speaking mainly against a point of view, you have to give possibly a real life example. That's what they've done here. So if you are saying that yes, this religion does not give a social solidarity, then what's the example for it? So they have said over here Iranian revolution, liberal theology we mentioned, right? Another thing that they mentioned over here was religious wars, schisms. Okay, so all of this doesn't, they're saying that this is again. So they're giving, whenever, it's mostly whenever you, it's better if you give it for both positive and negative, but mostly whenever you are going against, then it is very important to give a real life example. Okay, a concrete example. So a concrete example where that specific thing has taken place. Okay, so that specific thing did happen. Do you get what I just said here?
Yes, miss.
So this all, the last part of it as well, we've got it. We just need to add this as well in our answer. Other than that, we're good to go. So now you have the document, you know what to do. Just complete the other question as well. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and discuss whatever you've done in that question, in those questions, and correct that if it needs correction. Okay, so that's what we're going to keep for our next class. And otherwise, we're done for today.
Okay. I shall make sure to update the Google Doc.
Perfect. Take your time with it. No worries at all.
All right. Thank you, miss.
Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Take care.